5'9", 210.
441.
Okay.
9 and 3-inch height. 8.5-inch dick.
Hey, what's wrong with Jerry, man? I mean, that's really not the conversation to be having.
No! Why am I having, hold on, why am I having that conversation with another man?
Especially in that environment. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong with Jerry. I maybe he didn't know Jamie was filming at the time.
I ain't having no conversation. Me and no homeboys, my friends, my best friend Bucket, ain't nobody talking about no. Have mercy.
Now, so what happened is Jamie Foxx was on a live video. He was with Jerry Jones, right, the Dallas, Texas owner, and I'm guessing this is like a tryout or something. I don't know. Somebody can correct me in the comments, but as they're looking at the players, Jerry Jones is naming off, players' measurements. Then he talks about the players' penis size. And Jamie Foxx abruptly stops the live. So that's what Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco were reacting to. Like, why is he having this kind of conversation with another man? Right. And they saying they don't think Jerry Jones knew that Jamie Foxx was live. Here's the thing. This was a couple years ago. I think this was during the time when Colin Kaepernick knelt, when he was kneeling in protest of unarmed black men being killed or abused by law enforcement. And you started to have a wave of NFL players that were kneeling. Well, Jerry Jones said that if any of his players kneel, they're off the team. So a picture came out when he was young, and he was in a crowd of white supremacists confronting, I believe, black people doing a sit-in. Black people, you remember black people used to do those sit-ins where they would sit in the restaurants that didn't want to serve them. And, white people would come by and spit on them and pour ketchup on their head and mustard on their head. And black people would just sit there, right? Which something I don't agree with. I would have never done that. I don't want to eat nowhere where people don't even want to serve you anyway. I don't even get the concept of wanting to get food from somebody that doesn't like you. But Jerry Jones was in a picture, right? They brought that out. Like he was a youngster then. And now you hear him talk like this. It's crazy, but it takes you back to the time, they came out with a special that was some time ago with Colin Kaepernick on Netflix. And in that special, it actually gave you a visual of slaves being checked, their measurements, how high they can jump, how fast they can move. Then it goes to the NFL Combine. Oh, it was controversial, y'all. It was crazy. I said, that is so real. It reminded me of the book, $40 Million Slave, which I had the book, but I don't know what happened to it. I had the book. I always talk about the book, but I cannot find it. I wanted to find it to bring out some stuff, but I could not find it. And just if you just think about, if you know the history of our people, what they would do is they would do these things to you. They'll oil you up. They'll walk up to you, open your mouth, have you jump, have you bend down, check your back, check your genitals, inspect everything to make sure you were approved, a good slave, that could be a good producer and a good worker. There's a movie called Goodbye, Uncle Tom. It is free on Netflix. It is very graphic for an old movie, but it's also very realistic to give you the real feeling of what it was like when brothers and sisters got off the boat from Africa, from the ships of Africa to the Americas. Black Rain, yes, that movie is wild, very real. It's a wild, wild movie. They have a scene where where it's a little white girl running, and all you can see is her first. She's running over the hill in slow motion. Her hair is just flowing, you know, you see it's all green and everything. And then behind her comes a little black boy with a shackle on his neck, and she's holding the other end of the shackle, running with him, and he's just running along with her. It's an image that could bring you to tears to understand what happened to our people. You understand? But getting back to that, Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco, they laughing like in their conversation is like, why are you talking about things like this to another man? Because I don't believe Jerry Jones was actually talking to Jamie Foxx. He was talking to somebody else, but Jerry Jones is up in age, right? And so they're talking like, why is he having this conversation with another man? That's the point they're making on the show. But it's like they don't see the big picture. And people like us, like normal people, don't see the big picture either. That this is the slave master slave dynamic that started way back when in the plantation. How they like, these are multimillionaires, but they're still just looked at as workers, as great physical specimens. That's it. They're just looked at as great physical specimens. And they can't even see, because they done made their money from the NFL. They're retired. They done got their fame and their fortune, and they're retired. And just to be fair, Ocho Cinco is known for being really cheap. So I believe it was like 84 million. I can't remember how many millions, but his money, he's known for not spending his money, for taking his wife to their first date to McDonald's, to, you know, saving all of his money from his contract, which is super smart. That's really smart, because, you know, the first thing we do is like we buy chains and clothes and cars and all of that. Well, he didn't do none of that. You know, he's like very frugal with his money, but they can't see that in the big picture, they're still in that dynamic. We're still in that dynamic of this. Jerry Jones is just looking at you like you're a specimen. You got, look at your arms. Look at your calf size. Look at his calf size. Look at his private part size. That's how the breakdown is, and brothers cannot see that. And many people would get angry with me for making this comparison, especially white supremacists, because they say, I don't see somebody making millions of dollars like a slave. Well, until they say something. Until they stand on their 10 toes and speak on a real issue, we'll see how much those millions matter. We'll see. Maybe Colin Kaepernick might ring a bell then. We'll see. We'll see, like when they really say something and stand on it. But that won't really never happen. You know why? Because this is no disrespect to brothers and sisters that done worked hard and made it to those levels. But they are still $40 million slaves.